That was 2.5 days ago. It actually took us 19 hours to get from Kiev to the western Ukraine on the border with Moldova. Then at the border, we had to wait for 8 hours to queue. And then from Moldova to Romania, Romania to Bulgaria, and Bulgaria now to Greece. We have relatives here in Greece, because I'm from Greek ethnicity.
Ah, so you speak Greek?
I don't speak Greek, unfortunately, no. But we have relatives here, and basically that's why we're coming to Greece. We have relatives, we have lots of friends there, still staying in Kiev and surrounding areas around Kiev, which are actually worse than Kiev itself. So the situation is really bad, and I think right now it is critical. Because what we're hearing is that the Russian army is trying to surround, encircle Kiev, and basically try to break into Kiev, and resistance is there, so the situation is really bad. On Thursday, 5 o'clock in the morning, it happened. Frankly, like nobody believed that the war would happen. Everyone was talking about it, but out of all my friends, not a single person, not in a single person's mind, it crossed that a real invasion, a real war would happen between Russia and Ukraine. And 5 o'clock in the morning, we heard the first bombs, first blasts, and it took us about an hour to pack everything and to basically leave the city. But the good thing for me is, like many Ukrainians, obviously, Ukrainian men cannot leave the country because of the martial law. And since I'm not Ukrainian, I have Greek citizenship, I was able to get out of country, but that's the situation. And lots of people actually stayed because until, even like last moment, they didn't believe that the full-scale war would happen. They thought that they would only attack the military bases, stuff like that, but it wouldn't go down to the situation where it's there on the ground. I think I could be speaking for most of the Ukrainians is that there's no hatred towards Russians. The sadness in the hearts of the Ukrainians, because if you look at the history, Ukrainians and Russians throughout the history, they're like, they're almost the same people. They share the same history, glorious history, and I think genetically, ethnically, and psychologically, they are, like really united and connected. Almost every single family in Ukraine as well as in Russia has some relatives on the other side. Almost every single family. And I think what the way people distinguish is that, okay, they see an average Russian and the Russian politicians and, Putin and all the government, etc., which are to blame for those atrocities. And this is why, when Russian soldiers surrender, you can see that there aren't atrocities towards the soldiers. They take captives, but they don't, kind of unleash their anger towards the soldiers, which is, I think, is quite remarkable in a situation like that, because people are dying. So I don't have sort of hatred towards the Russians, but obviously it's hard to keep the emotions. It's hard to stay calm and not to kind of, okay, we're here, we're lucky, obviously, but it took us almost 2 days to get here, and not every single moment we're checking the news, talking to our relatives and friends. So yeah. I think one of the surprising things when we crossed the border with Romania and how welcoming every single person was. Like, we went to a pizza place and they didn't charge us. They didn't take the money. Everyone was offering shelter, and everyone was so welcoming, offering food, offering place to stay. Even when we got into the gas station and someone would try to buy some, whatever we needed for us. I think this is remarkable, and this is amazing how the European Union and the European people in general are sharing this kind of the pain that Ukrainians are feeling, and how welcoming the Ukrainians are to them, which is really, really amazing. It's hard to erase whatever, 1,000-year history. I think deep inside our souls, our hearts, our minds, is that connectedness between Ukrainians and Russians, and Belarusians as well. And I think, despite what's going on right now, obviously there will be hatred. It will need some time for wounds to heal. But I think the moment when it's over, and when there is we put the history behind us, I think it won't take too long for Ukrainians and Russians to, reconnect with their past. Not only Mariupol is, Odessa, we have Greek diaspora there. In Kiev, it's pretty significant as well. It's not that I haven't heard that Russians claiming that Mariupol belongs to them. Obviously, they say that the eastern Ukraine was given to be part of Ukraine, and Putin, with his infamous speech in the beginning, when he said that Ukraine should be named after Lenin, who gave to Ukraine so many lands. But I think I don't think that when you ask an average Russian, that average Russian would say, like Mariupol or Kharkiv or Donetsk, those are Russian cities. I don't think that would be the case.
Have you felt any discrimination as a Greek origin?
Never. This is one thing. In 2008, I was actually studying in London, and I moved to Ukraine for the first time. 2008. So I've been living there for 14 years now. Not even once. And I'm speaking for all the foreign friends that I have. I have Armenian friends, Georgian friends, any other international students living there. It's such a welcoming nation. Ukrainians are, they're actually, one thing you sort of feel a discrimination is you feel special. Because Ukrainians, they like when you're a foreigner, you come in with different culture, different traditions, and they really enjoy, and they're really kind of interested to know you and get to know you, to be friends with you. That kind of discrimination is obviously a positive discrimination, because you're feeling special there. So not only not once, but I always felt special living in Ukraine, and I really want to go back to Ukraine. I have relatives here, as I said. I have a place to stay here. That's why I'm here. I have my grandmother living here, my aunts living here. But Ukraine is my home country, so I'm definitely going back once the situation gets better.